Alright, fam, let's see what we got going on for the soulmate investigation rates, alright? So, I typically, I pull these cards first, but I just kind of do them in the flow that I feel like going in. First, I'm feeling more of the tarot first, so. Alright, so first, in the mind plane, we have the Hermit and the Six of Wands. The mind plane gives us indication of what both parties are thinking in this relationship. Well, not really what they're thinking, but what their mindset is going into the relationship. Okay, so Six of Wands, Three of Wands for this person, the Emperor, and this is the spiritual plane. Kind of gives us a bit of background as to why everyone's thinking or betraying themselves the way they betray themselves. Because this is the middle portion here. This here, these two cards, the cards on the second in the very middle, they indicate like what everybody is showing of themselves, like how you present yourself in the relationship. All right, and this is the card that tells us how what brought you what brought you two together, and this is the challenge that you both face. Okay, damn, it was chaotic. That's what it was. A lot of turmoil, a lot of inner turmoil, or a lot of turmoil. Period. Back and forth arguments, competition. But now now the challenge is getting to a place of peace, serenity, calmness. Because of the Ten of Pentacles being that it's not necessarily a lot going on. It's just like, you have a legacy here, things are stable, but what brought you two together was the conflict, was the back and forth, was the constant challenge. I think there was a bit of competition between you guys, healthy competition. I don't think it was unhealthy. But now it's like finding a way to stabilize and kind of have more peace together. It's really interesting. All right, so let's take a look at your romance angels. Honeymoon. See? Peace. Peace is what the answer is, okay? So, family. Let's get into it. So, honeymoon. It's enjoy this bliss. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This is talking about taking some time away, enjoying your time together. And I think it's been kind of there's a lot of confrontation in the relationship, but there's a lot of confrontation in your lives. So it's been a trip, right? It's been a trip. So now it's about, getting to a stable place, being comfortable, feeling the support of others, feeling the support from your person mostly. Let's see why this is like really crooked, guys. It's bugging me. Okay, so that should be a little better. Okay, but yeah, so going into the mental area of this, right? It makes sense. If you guys have been having a lot of arguing, a lot of confrontation, a lot of things being a challenge in your love life, it makes sense because if you look at your underlying energy, you have the Three of Pentacles, which talks about working together, teamwork, in that sense. Underneath that is the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Now, the King of Pentacles is somebody that's reliable, someone that you can trust, someone that's a provider, that, someone that that is generous with what they give because they have plenty to give. They have more than enough. They're always making or doing things to expand themselves or doing things to be able to support the people that they love. So I think this is really just kind of just stabilize. I think everyone wants to just stabilize and kind of just be still. Well, not be still, but just kind of be okay, just be in a good environment or be in a healthy standpoint in the relationship. Like the Ten of Pentacles would show, and like start building legacies, start like putting down roots, really just enjoying the connection and what abundance it brings. And of course, it's going to take time to work together, figure out each other's weaknesses and strengths. That's what the Three of Pentacles to me works, talks about figuring out a plan of executing that plan out. Okay, of course, right? Trying to see what the future has to offer with you guys constantly going at each other's necks. Right, and it can be that way. It could be that the external energies or the energy outside of your relationship is affecting your relationship in some way because somebody's bringing the mess home, right? But that's just me, right? But the mindset of each party in regards to the reading here, we have the Hermit and the Six of Wands. Pick the side that resonates with you. The other side will be your soulmate. Okay, how I read it, and personally, it'll have, you guys have a designated side, but since it's a YouTube reading, feel free to pick the sides here. Pick either side that resonates with you. Now, starting off with this person here, the way they're coming into this relationship is that they have the Hermit. I don't know if they're necessarily really in it right now. I think they're kind of doing a lot of reflecting, figuring out what they want, figuring out what they need to kind of continue to push forward. Because the Hermit is a very healing energy, and it talks about taking a step away from a situation and really looking within the self to find the answers that they need, whether it's uncertainty, lack of confidence, or even past pains and wounds. The Hermit goes in and heals those energies. It heals those parts of themselves, rather. Not really energies, because that's, you have history. So whatever your history is, whatever you're going in to do, that's what's going on here. You're healing that. You're taking time to really reflect and see how far you've come, how far you've grown. And the Hermit, for me, does talk about somebody that's honestly not really thinking of the relationship in the terms of the other person. They're thinking about the relationship for themselves. So when they're going into it, they're very reflective. They're really thinking about what they want, how much they've put into the relationship, what they're getting out of it, what do they want to get out of it continuously, things like that. Now the other person's scene is mindset going into the relationship is the Six of Wands. I like that. And the reason being is because this person is very proud of the actions that they've put in, proud of the work that they put in. They're feeling good about the work that they've been putting into the relationship here. I feel like that at the same time, though, this person may want a little bit more attention, though. I think they know that they've been doing some good stuff. They know they've been putting in effort towards the relationship. They know that they've been doing their due diligence. But I think that they want more attention because this person's not paying attention here. The Hermit would not be paying attention to someone else. It's all reflective. It's all internal. It's all about that person themselves. And I think this person wants a little bit more attention from the other person. Because if you see here in the present, right, how they're presenting themselves as someone that's always waiting. Someone that's waiting, that's continue to do the work, doing the best that they can, right? But, they're still waiting on the return. They're still waiting on something to come back to them. They're still waiting on the results to reflect their actions, right? They're waiting and expecting some sort of return. And I think this person's really stubborn about giving that to them because right now they're looking at what they need. They're looking at what they want, looking at what they need for themselves, right? Because this is about reflection, healing, things like that. It's very healing energy, the Hermit. So the Emperor may be very stubborn in regards to what his attention about how he diverts his attention to things, if that makes sense. Like he's not trying to be rude. I don't think this person here is trying to be rude. He or she, remember it could be whoever, but the Emperor, he is very stickler on the way he does things. He's very powerful. He knows his power, but he can be quite aggressive, very busy, but he's also very stubborn. Okay, that's what the card indicates, right? The stubbornness. So this person is probably being very stubborn right now, and because they're trying to figure out what they want, trying to figure out things. And try to figure out what they need to understand about themselves, if that makes sense, right? They're not thinking about the other person. They're thinking about what they're getting out of the situation at this moment, which is not a bad thing. But at the same time, this may be making this person, I don't think this person is too bothered by it because this person's coming from a place of love. They want to receive something, but their patience is obviously diverted elsewhere. They're doing other things to help benefit the relationship. They're doing other things to help benefit themselves, I think, hopefully. But because they're proud of their actions and that's good enough for them until obviously they patiently wait for whatever's coming in. But the reason why they're so patiently waiting and the reason why they have the Six of Wands in the mind plane for them is the King of Cups. So love, knowing what they want, wanting to express that love perhaps because there's a lot of Wands energy. Wands energy to me is more action oriented. It's not, I feel like this person is in love, wants to express that love. Maybe they may have bottled up a lot of love at one point and now they want to express that. They want to be, they want to let their emotions flow. But most importantly, I feel like this person is deeply in love. The King of Cups is someone that's deeply in love. Okay. And again, like I said, knows what they want. Very good at, at manifesting. So this person is whatever they're doing here, they're manifesting. They're putting the work towards, whatever they want for the relationship or whatever they want the relationship to be. They're making it happen. And their energy's in a good space here with the King of Cups. Okay, I feel like they do want more attention, but they're coming from a loving and compassionate place, so they're not forcing it, they're not pushing it. They honestly, I think they respect the space, even though this person is being very stubborn because of, or kind of cock blocking it at the moment because they have things that they have to work on. They have the Eight of Pentacles here as the reason why they have shown up with the Emperor and the Hermit. And it could be that the progress that they're making, they're really working hard and changing their own structure, changing their own cells, right? They're trying to work hard on, improving themselves to the best of their ability. They're focused on themselves. They're tunnel visioning themselves. They're tunnel visioning the progress that it's going to take to build that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's, I guess, I mean, because like I said, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with this because this person obviously wants to be better for themselves. They want to feel more in their power. They want to feel stronger. I feel like this person is definitely rocking divine masculine energy, though. So, again, this could be an Aries that you're dealing with, a Virgo. But I kind of feel like this person really wants to feel confident in themselves and know that they can execute the things that they can execute without doubts. And I think that's why they're so focused on their own thing. They're not really thinking about anybody else but themselves at this moment. It's because they're trying to improve themselves. It's not because they're trying to be rude or trying to keep themselves away from people. They're working on themselves. The Eight of Pentacles talks about working on themselves, hard work. Because the challenge is trying to get to a place of stability. Get to a place where you guys can, lavish on the abundance and be good with one another, right? Be happy. But it's going to take time. The Five of Wands does talk about changes and behavioral changes. So there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that are changing here. And the Three of Pentacles are talking about that, of course, planning for the future, working together as a team is definitely a part of it. I think everybody individually needs to know where they are first before they can come together and work together, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and take a look at the wisdom of the Oracle, Whispers of Love, rather. Whispers of Love, not Wisdom of the Oracle. See what the Whispers of Love has to say for this week here. Get to know each other. Learn to meet each other's needs for love is important for a relationship to grow. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. Figuring out what your strengths and weaknesses are and figuring out how you guys can utilize all of those aspects about yourselves to work together. But I think this person's trying to figure out how to do it themselves when they don't need to. That's another thing too. I think this person's figuring out that, or trying to figure out how to do it alone, or figuring out what they need to handle this stuff alone. And they can do it, but it's a relationship. A relationship is not meant to be a solo mission. It never was. A relationship is about working together as a team. And I think that's the challenge, right? Everybody's egos are flared up. Everybody's, I think this is only just one person that wants their way or the highway. But they may have to just be okay with working with somebody and compromising a little bit. But I think most importantly, though, I think that the turmoil may be that there is a lot of changes that's happening. There's a lot of things that they're going to have to adjust to. But ultimately, everybody has their own setup, their own personalities, their own, stuff that they go through every day. And with the Three of Pentacles coming up as underlying energy, and the King of Pentacles coming up underneath, I think there's a routine that's going to be needed here to kind of develop a stable relationship, a stable household, a stable, a bond between you and this individual. And how you do that is by taking, not taking care of each other, but getting to know each other, knowing each other's depths. I feel like this person's waiting for something to come in. But I feel like, this could be like this person is wanting more attention, or this person could be like really happy with I feel like there's both, right? They want more attention, but they also are happy with the work that they've been putting in. And I feel like they're waiting for something to come in too from the work that they've been putting in. Maybe it could be that they're trying to get to know the person, or they're trying to, grow something huge with this person. Because after this is the Four of Wands, and that's a stable relationship. That's moving in a higher place of commitment for you guys. But I feel like this person's waiting for something. It could be that this person's waiting for them to get back with them. Again, like this person is totally isolated at this moment, and I think this person's waiting for this person to either return, person to hear back for them, period. or they're wanting to get to know this person. But I feel like this person, everybody needs to learn how to work together here. And I think that's what some of you guys are doing, because there's a lot of conflict. And the way to get to a stable beginning, or stable, excuse me, not a beginning. I don't know why I want to say beginning so much, but the way to get to the Ten of Pentacles is by not focusing on each other, but by knowing, each other thoroughly.